guys, what's up? It's Nate and I'm back with another episode of Paranormal Talk, Paranormal App Test. Today we're going to look at the Ghost Hunter M2 app by Michael Weber. As normal, I really don't know too much about this app other than it cost about $1.99 in the App Store and it had an overall rating of 4.7 out of 5. That's on 1,500 ratings that have been given. So guys, I think that's a great start and maybe this could really be a great test. However, only time will tell though, as we know. I'm hoping that this will be a good app as we have seen very few good ones lately. So I think we really need a good test. This app has been on my list for a few months and I'm glad to finally get to it. So without further ado guys, no more gilding the lily here. We're going to jump right into this test. This is the Ghost Hunter M2 app by Michael Weber. Y'all know the drill. Let's get it. Hey guys, welcome back to Paranormal Talk. If you've ever watched any of my videos before, you should be well aware that not all of my content is suitable for all ages. This is your parental advisory, explicit content warning. Alright, so now we're going to be checking out the Ghost Hunter M2 app. It's going to be the bottom right icon. Kind of nice looking icon. It's kind of cool looking. Let's open it up, see what it's about. Alright, well I kind of like the loading screen here. That's pretty nice. So Ghost Hunter M2. Visually, that looks, appealing. It looks pleasing and holy crap, there's a lot of things on this app. See what the dashboard does. Whoa, that's a lot. Turn it all on. It's got EVP initializing up there at the top. So is there a way to zoom in on that? Nope. So once again, you see the EMF gauge down there. Let's see how accurate that is. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to go towards some lights. That actually seems to work pretty well. It's fluctuating up, not as high as some of the other ones that I've seen, but it's definitely fluctuating, like it's detecting something. So that is a huge plus. I do like that. Audio, there's a lot going on there, it looks like. The geo, I'm wondering if that's like a geomagnetic detector or maybe a geophone. Bar, what is bar? A barometer maybe? That's possible. Lux, I'm not sure if that means lux as in the lighting. So maybe it's got the camera active at all times, but you can't see it. That's the only thing that I know of that would be labeled lux is as far as the lighting, because I know that for infrared cameras, it's a 0 lux capability. So I would assume that's maybe what it is giving you the numbers and the lux of the lighting, but let's test that. Hey Alexa, turn off living room lights.
Illinois.
Seated, Illinois. Okay, so that was interesting. Alexa, turn on living room light. Okay, so that's weird. As I turn off the lights, the gauge drops. But when I turn on the lights, it raises when I turn on the lights and it drops when I turn them off. I'm looking at the lux here, guys, and I'll circle that for you in the video. And as you saw there in the sweep section at the bottom, we had a little dot come through and we had two words came through. This said seated in Illinois. So this definitely has a built-in phonetic generator. You guys know I do really appreciate those apps. I like them. So let's walk around for a minute. I would like to say for a moment, let me take a second. If there's any spirits residing in this house, I'm speaking to you only. Any outside forces, you are not allowed to come in. You are not allowed to communicate. I approach you with the greatest respect, and I expect that same respect in return. I'm not here to remove you, I'm not here to harm you, and I expect not to be harmed. So with that being said, if there's anyone spirit-wise here with me that would like to communicate, please come forward to this device and communicate. I'm going to sit it down. Maybe that would make you feel a little bit more comfortable. But could you come forward and tell me what your name is? You can communicate with me if you'd like. So we had two blips there, guys, as you saw on the bottom radar screen, the sweep, but nothing came through and said any words. Just try walking around with it for a minute. Is anyone here with me? My name is Nathan. I would just like to communicate. Can you please come closer and talk to me? You guys hear that? I got a TV on upstairs for my son. He's sleeping, but the background noise helps him sleep. I just saw you on the sweep monitor. Can you come over to me and communicate, please? Can you tell me what your name is? So I'd like to go ahead and start off by saying, guys, I really like the look of this app. I like the overall layout. It is a little bit confusing, though. It is kind of overwhelming when you first open this and you're looking at it. We're going to come back to this, though. I want to go to the other screens and see what else we have. Okay, so this is a sensor sweep. Let's see what this does. Okay, so this is basically the radar, just in a bigger version, more detailed. So, okay, so I like that. So you have the radar screen here. And again, with all these phonetic readouts at the bottom left-hand side, I'll circle that for you. Don't know what all these different abbreviations are over here on the right side. I'll circle that for you as well. But, okay, so you basically have the typical Ghost radar that you can download anywhere, and they have a lot of different ones that you can try out. I know I've done 2 or 3 of them myself. So let's go ahead and get out of that. We have an audio analyzer. So let's see what this does. So if there is anyone here with me, can you come forward, please, and tell me what your name is? So it looks like, from the bottom of this, that it's actually registering the vocal range in hertz. I typically thought, hertz is an okay range to do it in. I prefer decibels, but hertz is okay. So I wonder what these do. These increase the sensitivity, or maybe the max range. I'm not sure. This bottom one. So I think this gives you a range that it can actually sweep through, perhaps. I'm not quite sure what that does, to be honest. And you have the option here to record, so you can record this. And if there's anyone here with me, can you come forward, please, and tell me, what is my name? You guys know during AVP sessions, you should always give that, 8 to 15 seconds, depending on how long you want to wait for a response. So, my name is Nathan. Can you repeat my name to me? All right, let's see if... So that's how you do that, but how do you actually analyze your files? Doesn't tell you where that's saved to. Maybe I'll find it at some point. Okay, I wasn't expecting the little lightning there. That kind of, not gonna lie, that almost made me jump a little bit. So EMF detector, I have to assume, is going to be self-explanatory. It's going to be an EMF gauge. As you guys know, I don't feel like these things detect EMF all that well. I will say though, holding it up to the light, it varies between 12 and I think the highest I saw there was 17. So that shows me that this does somewhat work. I think it checks more of the magnetic field than it does the actual electromagnetic field. But I like the fact that it gives you 3 different ways you can look at this. It's got the almost K2 meter set up at the bottom, but with a lot more lights. It's got the Dr. Gauss read up here at the top. So that's a standard style, really cheap EMF detector. And then the one in the middle is a more complex graphical style. So depending on what style you want to use, that could be a really useful tool. So let's stop that one. See what else we got. God, this thing's got a lot of options. EVP. So I don't know if this is going to be like the phonetic generator or exactly what this is going to do. What is all that falling down there and lighting up? Okay, I don't know what all that is. If there's anyone here with me, can you come forward, please, and tell me, what is your name? So as you see here at the top, it says EVPs. I wonder if it doesn't give you the option to check that. Okay, it does. All right. So EVPs, Illinois and seated. Okay, so that, Illinois, I'm sorry, I know I like to pronounce the S. I know it's not how it's pronounced. So I do like the fact that that actually does tell you, your past EVP that you have caught. That's a good feature. My God. Guys, this, to be honest with you, would be one of those things that would take freaking forever to actually do a really detailed review on. So I don't know what this PEVP is. So PEVP, I wonder if this thing has there we go. Okay, wow, that doesn't help any. So that's literally tells you nothing about what each of these do. What is there we go. What is PEVP instrument? The phonetic EVP tool, similar to the EVP tool. Okay, guys, so if you need any kind of advice as to what all these do, the help section right here will tell you. You have to click on the green icon, though. You can't just click anywhere on it. It has to be the green icon. So this basically is where your word database is going to come in. So now if I have any questions, I'll be able to go back and check that out. Let's do this. Fire it up. If there are any spirits here with me, earlier you said Illinois, you said seated. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Would you be able to specify for me? Could you come forward and tell me a little bit more? Could you tell me what my son's name is? Could you tell me what my cat's name is? Alright, so far guys, we've gotten nothing phonetic-wise coming through. But we have already seen the phonetic generator actually work. So we know that this portion of the app works. And as you guys know, with anything in the paranormal acts when it wants to. It doesn't act on command. So it's possible. What the hell was that? Did anyone else understand what that said? Because I sure didn't. Yeah, let's go and see if we can have a listen to that somehow. So as you can see here, I have used this app before, but once again, I forgot to turn on my screen record volume. Alright, I'm going to record this audio. Could you come forward, please, and tell me... Okay, so that highlights spots. That gives you a range. Okay.
Your age.
My name is Nathan. I mean you no harm. I just want to communicate. Okay, I don't really like
tell
the
me how
fact
old you
that
are.
You can't... Let's pause this. Jump to a... So that's how you jump to a portion.
So weird. It's almost like it's just spitting out.
It's almost like it's spitting out random syllables. I don't know if you guys hear. Okay, so that was the last one that I had tested. No, that was this one. Was it? Alright, so far guys, we've gotten nothing phonetic-wise coming through, but we have already seen the phonetic generator actually work, so we know that this portion of the app works. And as you guys know, with anything in the paranormal acts when it wants to. It doesn't act on command, so it's possible. What the hell was that? Okay guys, so I want to go back to the last recording, because this is when I did my test, but I didn't have the volume for the screen record on. So these are just little clips of what I was getting before. I want you guys to note that it just kind of seems to spit out things that sound like random syllables, and I do remember this portion now, and I remember how much I disliked it. Not because of the fact that it didn't work, but because of the fact that it just made everything so jumbled. The voice that they were using, if they do maybe a different voice, then I would like it a little bit better, because maybe it would come out more clear. But this just comes out as a bunch of random jumbled stuff. So you have to. Okay, I don't know what that said exactly. That's just so weird. It's almost like it's just spitting out random... It's almost like it's spitting out random syllables. I don't know if you guys hear that or not. It just all seems kind of jumbled. And I'm not sure exactly why. I wonder if maybe if I slow this recording down, if the words will come out more clear. I'm not positive. I wish it was a different style voice that they were using for this particular generator here, because it might be a little bit more clear as to what they're... So after going back and listening to that, guys, I will say I have a theory that maybe that this app was made in a different country, and perhaps that the language that's coming through isn't English. Maybe it's French. It almost sounds French. So I work for a company, you know, that is run by people who are French Canadian. Our home base is in Canada. So it almost sounds French, but I don't speak a lick of French, so I couldn't tell you. If anyone out there listening or watching this video speaks French, then please tell me if that's what it sounds like to you, because I honestly don't know. So let's see. FFT, I don't remember what this does. So let's go ahead to the help. I like this. Fast Forward Transform Visualizer utilizes this device's acoustic to, okay, driven by powerful algorithm, variable, okay. All right, let's see what that does. See that? Every time I click my volume key, it shows up as a little... So this is basically showing you the frequencies, it looks like, in the almost a graphical form. Yeah, this could be something that could be interesting if you know how to read this style graph. I, however, do not. So I can't really tell you whether or not this works. And I'm not even going to spend too much time on this to make a judgment, because, guys, I really don't know whether or not this works. I don't know how to read this style graph. If anyone out there does, please message me or leave a comment. Let me know exactly how this style graph works, because I don't know. So let's see what Twilight does. Okay, so this is going to turn on the camera is what this is going to do, I think. Yep. Okay, so let's see how well the low light works. All right, so that seems to work okay. But now my question is it the low light because of the ambient light, or is it the low light because it actually has a capability to detect low light? And in complete darkness, it cannot really see anything. So it uses the regular lighting. I assume it's just with a green filter. Yeah, it's literally, guys, just the lighting with different color filters. That the red one over here turns the flash on. Okay, so could that be useful? Yeah. it could be useful. Different color spectrums bring up different things, but this is not really color spectrums. All this is adding a differential of color. Pretty self-explanatory. So what does the Lux Scope do? Uses powerful. Okay, so that basically tells me that this is going to scan and tell me the differences in the lighting. So let's see how well this works. Okay, so you see the light. Let's turn this light off. All right, so that actually functions properly, guys. I'm gonna turn the sensitivity all the way up. That's me turning the light. Okay, so that actually functions as it's supposed to. Now, I cannot tell you that I know how that would, in any way, shape, or form, help you on an investigation, unless it's going off of the thought that spirits emit their own light. So maybe if a spirit that emits its own light or an orb that is visible by the eye goes by the camera lens, then maybe this will fluctuate some, giving you the idea that, hey, you just saw something that was emitting its own light in complete darkness. That would be my only thought on that. So, Geoscope. That does what I think it does. Is powerful. Yep, so I do believe the Geoscope is going to be, if I'm not mistaken. So it detects movement. If I sit this down, you guys see what happens there? It levels out, right? You see that? Now let me pick it up. So this can be used to detect movement. Say you're in an investigation and you're in a place with a hardwood floor that's known to have phantom footsteps heard. You can sit this down, and if you hear those phantom footsteps, it's going to tell you whether or not that they have any kind of consistency to them. It's going to tell you whether or not the floors actually vibrate when you hear those footsteps. So that actually is a very useful tool, and I like that. So the barometer, let's be honest, guys, not everyone out there is going to carry a barometer on them. This is in kPa, so that's obviously metric. It's not in PSI. So let's go and see exactly what the barometer is supposed to do for us. Barometer. Right there. So you're going to want to pause these screens and read over this, because, guys, this is a ton of information. And this app has a ton of different features that you can use. And to be honest with you, for $1.99, this is a well put together, and it gives you a lot of stuff that you can use. So we're just going to kind of bypass the barometer. I've never personally used one, and I can't say I know too many paranormal investigators who use devices to detect changes in barometric pressure. Barometric pressure is like what they would detect. Like, they send hurricane hunters, into hurricanes, and they detect the different barometric pressures, and that tells them whether or not the hurricane is strengthening or weakening. So that's basically what that does. It's going to tell you the barometric changes in the natural environment. So, and also the noise that thing emits. I just want to show you guys that. Not that one. So, was it the Geoscope? No, it wasn't it? So anyways, there was one of them that, God forbid, the noise that it was giving off. So I don't know exactly what this thing does either. Yeah, so it kind of, let's see what this thing does. I don't understand that. I didn't understand this one when I did the test with the screen record. Didn't work either. Use a powerful sensor array. Silver button on the bottom right hand side. So it's telling you to adjust your sensitivity to a lower volume. You would desire to utilize the instrument in a stationary setting. It is recommended you to adjust to a higher volume. Okay, so we're going to try that on whatever setting that it's on, because yeah, I'm not going to adjust that right now. I can't from here, it looks like. I don't see any way to do so. But that may or may not be handy, guys. I'm honestly not sure. I've never used this particular style of detection, so I can't say I know too much about it. It's something that requires a little bit more research for sure. Low light. Okay, so the low light feature is kind of nice. You can use that, you know, for, say you're in a darker environment. This isn't going to make your eyes adjust as much, so you'll be able to better see, say, shadow people or anything if they walk by. So I do like that setting. But this overall dashboard though, guys, my God, this thing is impressive. I'm not gonna lie, I like the way it looks. Here's my main complaint about the app. I think it's just too much compacted into one app. And for $1.99, everything on the application though, I will say, seems to function as it's supposed to. So I do appreciate that. And we got a red bleep over there, so let's go in that direction. And it's this, oh, got a yellow bleep. Can you talk to me, please? My name is Nathan. I'm not going to hurt you. Can you say something for me? I just want to communicate. All right, and it's gone. So, wow, guys, this is a lot to process. Yeah, I think that I have enough information on this particular app and, well, enough information based off of what I can tell, because there is so much compacted into this application. You know, it's quite impressive. The layout looks amazing. Everything seems to function the way it's supposed to. I think I'm going to come back with my final conclusion, guys. Yeah, I'll see you all in a minute. Oh, hang on. Before we do that, I got another yellow blip. If there's anything here with me, please come forward and speak. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you.
Ray.
Trey. What about the tray? Are you by the dinner tray that I'm literally standing right in front of? So that was pretty cool, guys, because I'm literally standing 2 or 3 feet from a tray that I use to eat dinner if I eat in the living room so I don't spill on the floor because I'm a clumsy bastard. But that was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That was, I think, more than coincidental. So something that was brought up to me before, and I'm going to highlight this person in a shout out. You know, when I do these app tests, guys, I never show you how I close out my sessions. So that's actually something that's very important, and I think it needs to be highlighted. So here's what happens. Typically, I close the app, and I do my closeout like this. To any spirits that came through to communicate, I appreciate your communication. If you tried to communicate but could not, thank you as well. However, I am closing this session, and I ask you all to leave in peace, and I will invite you back next time I would like to communicate. Until then, please just rest, behave, and please let me be. So it's very important to close out your session, guys. You never want to leave that doorway open because you never know what could come through. So I am closing this doorway officially, and I will invite you back next time I would like to try and communicate. Thank you if you attempted to communicate, or if you did communicate. It's greatly appreciated. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to exit off this app, and we're going to come back with my final conclusion, because there's a lot to go over. I'll see you in a minute. So that was the Ghost Hunter M2 app by Michael Weber. Here's the thing, guys. There was a lot thrown into that application. There was a ton of different applications within the application. A lot of different tools that you could actually utilize during an investigation. Here's the thing though, when you put that much into one application, it just makes the app confusing. It's all jumbled together, and a lot of that stuff you're never gonna actually use. All in all though, it's $1.99, and they put a lot in there for $1.99. And the app graphics were absolutely amazing. They were astounding. I love how the app looked overall. I like the fact that the electromagnetic field detectors seem to actually function. That's something I've not encountered in an app that functions that well. So kudos to them on that. That was really well done. Not a fan of the phonetic generator thing that they have in there. It's just so jumbled. If they had used a voice that maybe spoke a little bit clearer and made it easier to understand what the spirit was saying, then that might legitimately be something that I would use on a regular basis. Not a fan of the barometer. Yes, I know that, you know, the barometric pressure, it can raise and it can drop in theory if a spirit is around and attempting to act out or make contact. However, how many paranormal investigators do you see running around holding a barometer? I mean, maybe once I've seen it on a show. Once. I don't think I personally know any ghost hunters or paranormal investigators that own one. So it's kind of a weird flex. I'm not, you know, I'm on the fence about that. And at the same point, I'm on the fence about a lot of the stuff in the application itself. Because if you put that much into an app, how much time did you spend actually perfecting each specific portion of the app? How much of that app is just kind of, you know, quickly thrown together? And that could make the app malfunction. It could make a lot of different things not work as they properly should. However, here's the thing overall though, guys. The app looked great. It had a lot of functions that you probably can use on a paranormal investigation. It's $1.99. That's not going to break your bank. Is it something that I think that you should maybe download and give a shot during an investigation? You know what? I think you should. Just stay away from whatever in the hell that thing was that was making all that weird noise, and God forbid it sounded like you were on a construction site. That was honestly probably more annoying than the beeping on the ghost radar. And we all know how much I enjoy that once I go back and review the video because I didn't hear it at the time of filming. However, I would just stay away from that portion of the app altogether. Just leave it alone. So, I think overall, it's not a bad app to try. I've tested worse, tested better, but there's a lot of tools in here that you can attempt to utilize. Guys, if you decide to download the app, please tell me your experiences with it. Tell me if you liked the app. Tell me if you thought the same thing that I do, that it's just kind of a lot jumbled all together and it's kind of too much, to be honest. It's just too much for an application. You want simplicity. You want to be able to open the app. You want to be able to use it. You don't want to open the app and see all these different gadgets and then you're like, well, what the fuck is that? What is this? What is this? What is this? And then you have to kind of scroll through all the different layers and figure it out. That's not what you want in an application. However, it does have a lot of useful tools that may or may not come in handy. So with that being said, guys, $1.99. Why not give it a shot? Guys, that's all I've got for you today. If you like the video, like the video. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Sharing is caring. Share the video if you found it informative. Nate signing out. I'll see y'all next app test.